Your body is standing at the threshold of a profound internal transformation that most people will chase with expensive supplements and complicated meal plans their entire lives. And it all begins with one simple decision you can make tomorrow morning. I'm talking about eating 5 whole eggs every single day. Not egg whites, not some processed powder from a tub. 5 complete, nutrient-dense eggs as your daily foundation. This isn't another fleeting trend or restrictive diet. This is a 30-day protocol that reprograms your metabolism, sharpens your mind, balances your hormones, and unlocks fat-burning pathways you didn't even know were dormant. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens inside your body, week by week, system by system, with the precise molecular mechanisms that make it work. No fluff, no guesswork. Just the raw biochemistry that separates people who feel unstoppable from those who stay stuck in the same cycle of crashes, cravings, and frustration. Here's what the so-called experts have been getting wrong for decades. They've painted eggs as cardiovascular villains because each one contains about 200 milligrams of cholesterol. The official line was clear: limit them or risk clogged arteries. But a massive population study tracking hundreds of thousands of adults across multiple continents, published in one of the most respected medical journals on the planet, delivered a verdict that shattered that narrative. The group consuming eggs daily actually showed fewer cardiovascular incidents and better overall metabolic markers than those who avoided them completely. And the science has been hiding in plain sight while outdated guidelines kept people scared. You now have permission to stop fearing the yolk and start using it as the powerful tool it is. Before we dive into the week-by-week changes, you need to understand one non-negotiable truth. The quality of the eggs you choose will make or break this entire experiment. Walk into any grocery store and you'll see shelves screaming cage-free, free-range, and organic. Those terms are carefully engineered to make you feel virtuous, but they mean almost nothing in practice. Cage-free facilities can still house thousands of birds in dark, overcrowded barns, with zero natural light or fresh air. Free range often requires nothing more than a small door leading to a concrete patch that most birds never even see. If you want real results, and you must go pasture-raised. These chickens roam freely on grass, forage for insects, and soak up direct sunlight. The difference shows up the moment you crack one open. Deep, vibrant orange yolks that look like liquid sunshine instead of the pale yellow you get from factory-farmed eggs. That rich color isn't for show. It's the visual proof of dramatically higher levels of vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and bioavailable nutrients. Pasture-raised eggs deliver the concentrated fuel your body actually craves. Anything less and you're shortchanging the protocol from day one. Let's start the clock. Week 1. The hunger monster goes silent. Within the first 7 days of eating 5 eggs every morning, something almost magical happens to your appetite. That constant mental chatter telling you to snack. That afternoon slump where you're raiding the pantry for anything sweet or crunchy. It simply fades away. This isn't willpower or some placebo trick. This is your body finally receiving the complete nutritional signal it's been missing for years. Most people are walking around in a state of hidden micronutrient starvation, even when their plates look full. Breakfast cereal, toast, or a quick smoothie might deliver 300 to 400 calories. But those calories are mostly refined carbs that spike your blood sugar like a rocket launch. Your pancreas responds by dumping insulin to bring it back down. But that insulin surge crashes your blood sugar too low, triggering stress hormones that scream for more food. The cycle repeats every few hours and keeps you trapped in constant hunger. 5 whole eggs change the game at the molecular level. You're getting roughly 350 to 380 calories, but these are premium slow-burning calories loaded with 30 grams of complete protein and 25 grams of healthy fats. That specific protein-to-fat ratio triggers the powerful satiety hormones in your gut: peptide YY, cholecystokinin, and GLP-1. Your brain receives the clear message: we have everything we need, stop searching. At the same time, eggs have virtually zero impact on blood glucose, so your insulin stays low and stable. When insulin remains calm, your body finally gains access to its own stored fat for steady energy, instead of constantly storing more. You won't necessarily see dramatic scale movement in week 1, but you'll feel it everywhere. Energy that doesn't spike and crash. No more 3 p.m. fog or desperate cravings. Your metabolism begins remembering what it feels like to run on real, whole food fuel instead of processed garbage. This is measurable biology, not motivation. Week 2. Your brain finally wakes up and the fog lifts. By day 8 through 14, the changes move upstairs in a way that surprises even longtime egg eaters. The secret player here is a nutrient most people have never heard of, yet it's one of the most critical building blocks for your nervous system: choline. Eggs are the single richest natural source of choline on the planet, and the average adult is chronically underconsuming it. Your brain uses choline to manufacture acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for focus, learning, memory formation, and smooth communication between neurons. When acetylcholine levels are low, you get that frustrating experience of reading the same paragraph 5 times without absorbing a word, or walking into a room and instantly forgetting why you went there. 5 pasture-raised eggs deliver 600 to 750 milligrams of highly bioavailable choline every single day, essentially an upgrade to your brain's operating system. But that's only part of the story. Those deep orange yolks are also packed with DHA, a specific omega-3 fatty acid that makes up roughly 60% of your brain's structural fat. DHA keeps neuron membranes flexible and efficient, acting like high-quality insulation on electrical wires so signals fire clearly instead of getting distorted. The DHA from eggs is far more usable than the plant-based versions your body has to convert first. By the end of week 2, more people consistently report the mental fog disappearing. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become straightforward. Focus sharpens noticeably. Anxiety levels often drop because stable blood sugar and optimal neurotransmitter production calm the entire nervous system. There's even a secondary benefit happening in your eyes at the same time. The same yolks contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two potent antioxidants that accumulate directly in your retina. They act like built-in sunglasses, filtering out the blue light damage from screens and protecting against long-term oxidative stress. Your vision feels clearer, less strained, and you're safeguarding your eyesight without even trying. These first 2 weeks lay the foundation, but the real magic accelerates from here as your body moves into deeper repair and optimization mode. The cumulative effect of consistent, high-quality protein and fat intake starts rewriting how your muscles, hormones, and long-term metabolism function at the cellular level. Week 3, the protein advantage kicks in hard. This is the week where people who have been lifting weights or simply moving more notice something undeniable: faster recovery, firmer muscle tone, and a subtle shift in body composition where fat starts melting while muscle holds strong. The reason is something called biological value, a precise measurement of how efficiently your body can turn the protein you eat into actual living tissue. Not all protein is created equal. When you consume a whey protein shake or a soy-based product, your body might only convert 17 to 20% of those amino acids into muscle or repair tissue. Either the rest gets burned as quick energy or excreted. Whole eggs, however, deliver the highest biological value of any food on the planet. Your body can utilize nearly 50% of every gram. That's not marketing hype. That's measurable net nitrogen utilization science. The complete amino acid profile in eggs matches human needs so perfectly that your cells treat it like precision building blocks instead of cheap filler. And here's what makes 5 whole eggs different from the egg white-only trend that dominated for years. The yolk is not the enemy. It's the activator. The healthy fats and phospholipids in the yolk dramatically improve the absorption and utilization of the protein in the white. And separating them destroys that synergy and often triggers a sharper insulin response because pure protein without fat can still spike blood sugar in some people. Eating the complete egg keeps you in a true anabolic state, building muscle without accidentally storing more fat. This becomes critically important after age 30, when the body begins losing muscle mass every single year in a process called sarcopenia. That gradual muscle loss is the hidden driver behind slower metabolism, weaker bones, more visceral belly fat accumulation, and loss of independence later in life. By giving your body 30 grams of the highest quality protein every morning, you're sending a daily signal to preserve and even rebuild lean tissue. If you're doing any resistance training at all, you'll feel the difference in recovery time by day 21. If you're not exercising yet, you'll still notice everyday movements feel easier, and your posture improves because the muscle supporting your frame is getting the raw materials it actually needs. Week 4. The cholesterol truth finally sets you free. This is usually the week when friends or family start warning you that you're eating 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol a day, and your arteries are supposedly at risk. That fear is based on decades-old science that has been thoroughly debunked, yet it still lingers in medical offices and headlines. Here's the reality your body has known all along. Your liver manufactures between 1,000 and 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day because cholesterol is not a villain. It's an essential building block of life. It forms the structural integrity of every cell membrane. It's the raw material for every major hormone: testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, vitamin D, and it helps repair damaged tissue. When you eat more cholesterol from eggs, your liver simply downregulates its own production. When you eat less, it ramps up. The system is self-regulating and incredibly intelligent. Even more important is the distinction between LDL particle sizes that most doctors still don't explain to patients. Small, dense LDL particles can penetrate artery walls and cause problems. But the large, fluffy LDL particles created by the saturated fat and cholesterol in pasture-raised eggs are too big to cause damage. They're essentially harmless. Studies show that whole food sources like eggs actually shift your LDL profile toward the safer, larger particles, lowering real cardiovascular risk, even if the total number on a lab report goes up slightly. For roughly 40% of the population carrying the common MTHFR gene variant, eggs provide an extra life-saving benefit. This variant makes it harder to process homocysteine, a molecule that inflames arteries far more dangerously than cholesterol ever could. The naturally occurring bioavailable forms of B12, folate, and choline in pasture-raised eggs help clear homocysteine at the cellular level, supporting your body's detoxification pathways without expensive supplements that often contain synthetic versions your body can't use efficiently. Now, before you rush to the kitchen and start blasting eggs on high heat, there's one critical detail that can destroy everything we've just covered. The delicate fats, antioxidants, and cholesterol in the yolk are extremely sensitive to high temperatures and oxygen. If you overcook them until the yolks turn gray and rubbery, you oxidize the cholesterol, turning a beneficial molecule into a pro-inflammatory one, and you destroy a significant portion of the vitamins and choline. The correct method is simple but non-negotiable. Keep the yolks soft and creamy. Soft-boiled eggs are ideal. Poached eggs are perfect. Over-easy works beautifully. If you prefer scrambled, do it low and slow. Add a tablespoon of grass-fed butter or ghee to the pan on low heat. Crack the eggs straight in and stir gently. The moment you see soft, glossy curds forming and the eggs still look wet and custard-like, pull them off the heat immediately. The residual warmth will finish the cooking without damage. This preserves the fat structure, maximizes nutrient absorption, and gives you that rich, satisfying texture that makes 5 eggs feel like a feast instead of a chore. After a full 30 days of this protocol, your body has completed a total recalibration. Insulin sensitivity improves. Hunger signals normalize so you naturally eat fewer calories without feeling deprived. Your brain has been flooded with choline and DHA for sharper focus, better memory, and reduced brain fog. Hormone production is optimized because you finally supplied the raw cholesterol and healthy fats your body needs to manufacture testosterone, estrogen, and thyroid hormones in the right balance. Inflammation markers drop, detoxification pathways run more efficiently, and visceral belly fat becomes easier to access because stable blood sugar and lower chronic cortisol no longer force your body into constant storage mode. You haven't just followed a diet. You've sent powerful, consistent signals to your DNA telling your cells to build, repair, and thrive the way they were designed to. The egg industry has kept people confused for decades with misleading labels and outdated warnings, but the biochemistry doesn't lie. Standard medical advice still treats eggs like a cardiovascular threat while ignoring the mountain of evidence showing daily consumption supports heart health, brain function, and metabolic freedom. You now know better. You understand exactly what happens inside your body when you commit to this simple morning ritual. If this breakdown gave you real clarity on how food actually works at the molecular level instead of surface-level advice, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this is the content you want more of. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next science-explained protocol that actually moves the needle. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you starting with soft-boiled or scrambled? I read every single one and I'll reply to as many as I can. Share this video with someone who's been scared of eggs their whole life or who's struggling with constant hunger, brain fog, low energy, or stubborn belly fat. Show them there's a biological solution that costs pennies and delivers results most expensive supplements can't touch. Your body isn't broken. It's just been missing the right raw materials at the right time. Starting tomorrow morning, you get to change that. You get to give it exactly what it's been asking for. I'll see you in the next one.